I'm just waiting for the bar to load.
Cat dog. That's a first.
Oh, cat dog, what a throwback.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. We are live on YouTube. We're so excited to have our buddies here from LottieFiles for joining us on this wonderful workshop today. If this is your first Design Buddies workshop, welcome. Design Buddies is a community where you level up your design career, and it's where you can make your lifelong friends, your buddies for life. And we host a lot of events like this, workshops, design challenges to help you level up your design craft, whether you want to get your next promotion, land a job, and just overall meet new friends. And I'm Grace. I founded Design Buddies for Fun back in April of 2020. We're almost at 50,000 members now. I think we're less than 100 away. So definitely join the Discord if you haven't already. Posted lots of events like this. Feel free to connect with us. And with that, I'll hand it over to our host here from LottieFiles. No, my Zoom, I don't know where to, sorry. How do I unshare my screen?
Let me try sharing my screen.
Yeah, the
Maybe
floating
that would.
controls are
Okay.
on.
It says this will stop others' screen. Yeah.
Yeah, please share your screen.
One sec. Okay. Cool. Thanks, Grace. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Jia Yu, and I'm a product designer on the web team at LottieFiles. And today we'll be talking about designing delightful and purposeful user experiences with Lottie Animations with my coworker, Mao. So I'll give you a little bit of background about myself. I joined the LottieFiles team 2.5 years ago. And before LottieFiles, I was working as a solo designer on a team that was working on a robo-advisor app. And as the only designer, I did UI UX as well as any other design assets that we needed, from social media graphics to animated videos. And then decided I wanted to focus more on product design. So I joined LottieFiles, and now I'm happy to be working with a team of designers and developers that help to make products that help people create and use animations in their projects. And Mel, on to you.
Hey. What's up, everyone? My name is Mao. I'm a part of a Lottie Studio team in LottieFiles, leading the motion and the education side of things. A little bit about myself. I started my career as a 2D motion designer back in 2017 after finishing up my studies. And I gotta say, it's been quite a journey. I learned so much over the years, and I'm really excited to be here with all of you. So during the session, I'll be demoing how we export Lottie from After Effects and touching a little bit of Lottie Editor and Lottie Platform, which I hope will give you an insight on how Lottie files fit into motion workflow. And yeah, from Maldives, based here as well. It's quite early for me right now, 5 a.m. to be exact. But again, yeah, super excited to be meeting all of you. And back to you, Jia Yu.
Cool. Thanks, Mel. Okay, so this is what we'll be covering today. First, I'll give you an introduction to Lottie Animation and why motion is so important in design. And then Mao will do a demo on the LottieFiles platform and how to export your animations as Lotties in After Effects. So this is for you motion designers out there. And then I'll show you the different ways that you can use Lottie animations in your Figma designs. Then we'll get into the details for the design challenge that we've prepared for you guys and move into some Q&A. So let's get started. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Lottie, let's do a quick 101. And we'll start off with this little video about Lottie as a file format. Let me know if you guys can hear it once it starts playing.
You don't hear the audio.
Can you hear it?
No.
No? Okay. How do I do this? audio settings.
Oh, try resharing your screen and then check share screen audio too.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, let me do that again. Share screen. Okay, this should work now.
So, what exactly is a Lottie? A Lottie is an animation that is made entirely out of code. It's a digital description of all the shapes, colors, and movements within an animation. Lottie animations can be used in a variety of digital platforms, including websites, mobile apps, smartwatches, games, and ebooks. Lottie animations are incredibly small in file size. Just imagine, a PNG is about the size of a T-Rex and a GIF the size of an elephant, making a Lottie the size of a cute little puppy. It's also super high quality. It maintains high quality resolutions by mixing vector raster elements and applying transformations at runtime. Building products that engage and entertain people can really make them stand out, increase user engagement, bring in more traffic, and ultimately boost conversions and revenue. When Lottie was born, it was a lifesaver for designers, developers, and everyone in the digital industry. Not only did it solve the issue of quality and size, but it also had that effect of bridging the gap for designers and developers, allowing for more seamless project handoffs. Lottie animations can be created in a variety of ways. For instance, we can design a Lottie in any design tool, import it straight to After Effects, and use the After Effects plugin to export it as a Lottie. And with the LottieFiles platform, creating, collaborating, and shipping motion got a whole lot better. Every second, more and more companies from multiple industries all over the world are creating and using Lottie animations in their products, and you can be one of them. So, what are you waiting for? Dive into our learning page filled with top-notch free courses and create your first Lottie today.
Cool. So to recap, a Lottie is a JSON-based animation file format that lets you ship high-quality animations on multiple platforms like iOS, web, and Android. And it's vector-based, so it never loses quality, whether you scale it up or down, and you can program it to be interactive. It also has a tiny file size compared to other, other file formats like GIF or PNG sequence. So now that you know what Lottie is, what's LottieFiles? LottieFiles is a platform for discovering, testing, collaborating, and using Lottie animations. We have an extensive library of Lottie animations that are completely free to use, and also a collection of tools that let you edit and that just support using Lottie on different platforms, for example, After Effects and Figma. And popular online platforms like Webflow, Wix, Canva, and Medium also support Lottie natively. So how does LottieFiles fit into your workflow? So first, you need an animation. If you're an animator, you'd be creating this yourself using programs like After Effects or Animate, and you'd use plugins for those tools to export your animations as Lottie JSON files. And if you're not an animator, say you're a product designer or a developer, maybe you'd be working with an animator who would do this, or you can go to the LottieFiles website to look for free animations you can use. The second step is to test, edit, and preview. So if you need to make some quick color changes, you can put your animation into the Lottie editor tool on our website. And then you can test and preview it on our mobile app and the LottieFiles platform, which is a part of our website where you can store and organize your animations and do lots more, but we'll get more into that later. And why is testing part of the process? It's because not all effects in animation programs like After Effects that you might use in your Lottie animation are supported on the same platforms. For example, one effect might be supported on web browser and iOS, but not on Android. So you do want to test it just to make sure that your animation shows up how you want it on all platforms. The third step is to collaborate, optimize, and hand off your animation. So on the LottieFiles platform, you can collaborate with your team by leaving comments on specific frames of animations and tagging your teammates. And you can also optimize your animation before handing it off to a developer if that's part of your process. And Mao will show you how to do this later on. And finally, it's time to implement the animation. So there are many ways to do this depending on your role and where you're using the animation. And we have tools and guides on the website to guide you on how to do this, whether you're a developer who's implementing it in code, or you want to embed it on Notion or Medium, or you want to mock it up on Figma or your Adobe XD prototypes, or even some no-code websites. So for a full list of all the tools and guides on where you can use Lottie and how, you can visit our integrations page. And Yamin can help drop the link to the integrations page in the chat. And soon we'll also be adding another tool to the creation process, which is our upcoming Lottie Creator tool. So this would enable you to easily create your own Lottie animations, whether you're a motion designer or not. And it's not launched yet, but you can get on the waitlist by visiting the Lottie Creator page, which will also drop in the chat. So why are we so into motion? Why is it so important? Motion is a universal language, and it's an essential part of the language that we as designers use to communicate with our users. Motion can help elevate your user experience by telling stories about our products, by providing some visual feedback, and it's an opportunity to bring delight into the user experience. So let's go through some of the ways that designers can use animations to create a delightful user experience. So the first one is storytelling and branding. In web design, the hero section is the first section that you see above the fold or right under the website header. And this section is the first touch point of your user with your website. So it's your chance to hook the user and impress them, because first impressions matter. And having a strong hero image gets the user's attention from the get-go, and animation just makes that impression even stronger and even more appealing. People perceive visuals faster than words, so using beautiful animations gives a first-time visitor an instant connection to what your page is about and makes them want to interact with your website. And here, Spotify has used motion in a really interactive and engaging way that responds to your cursor. The next one is micro interactions. Micro interactions are small and functional animations that serve an important function in your user experience. They give the user feedback. They communicate that an action a user took had an effect and helps them see the result of their action. And one micro interaction that we're all very familiar with is the like button on social media. So when you're scrolling on Twitter and you like a post, there's usually a little heart animation that gets triggered by your action. So the trigger is you tapping on the heart, and the animation that you see is the feedback. And in this example, they've used an American Express logo that turns into a heart. And in this way, micro interactions are not just functional, but they can also be a way of reinforcing your branding. Another way that you can use animations in your user experience is on onboarding screens. So I'm not sure how many of you can read Korean, but even if you can't, I think you could guess what this company and this app is about. And if you guess that it's a finance app, you'd be totally right. Toss is a South Korean finance app, and the animations in their onboarding clearly reflect that financial branding and the purpose of their company. So even without you knowing the company or knowing the language, you already know what their app is all about. And motion helps to communicate the story of their brand in a really dynamic way. And here's another example from Toss, just because the way they use Lottie is so fun. In their app, there are situations where users will have to wait, for example, when they're processing a payment or fetching some data. And while this is happening, it's important to show the user some feedback that something's happening in the background. And one way to do that is by showing a loading state or a progress state. So imagine clicking on a button and it leads you to a new completely blank screen and stays that way for like 10 seconds. That'd be so confusing because you wouldn't know what's going on. Like, did you lose connection? Is your phone lagging? Did your system crash? This confusion is something you want to avoid putting your users through because you don't want them to wonder if their request was heard. A loading animation provides very important visual feedback to your user that, hey, don't worry, something's happening, just hang on tight. And here Toss is doing that in a really fun way with these little faces and the progress circle going around them. And when the loading is done, the little faces turn into a check mark to show that it's complete. And the way that they've used animation here just makes the unavoidable waiting process a lot more enjoyable. The last one is to set an atmosphere. Headspace is a meditation app, and one of the key points of meditation is to create a moment of stillness and calmness. And if any of you have done meditation before, you'll know that a common practice in meditation is to focus your breath as you inhale and exhale. So now look at these animations and visuals from the Headspace app. On the left, the 4 panels are ambient backgrounds that are used in the app. Notice the way that the Headspace team has chosen to use motion in these visuals and how it almost seems like they're breathing and like inhaling and exhaling very gently. This helps to visually create a calm and gentle atmosphere that prepares you for meditation. And on the right, you can see how there are soundscapes and sleep radio, which you'd use when you're about to go to bed. The whole design used on the screen is deliberately chosen to set that sleepy nighttime atmosphere with the dark colors and the little fireflies slowly drifting in the background. So the atmosphere that they've created with their design and their use of motion really helps to reflect their brand's purpose and set a scene for their user. And if you want more examples of how people are using Lottie and animations in general, you can check out our showcase page. There are lots of cool examples on there. So as you can see, there's lots of ways that you can use motion. You can use that on your websites, on apps, on walkthroughs and onboarding, on animated icons, on gaming assets, and even on presentation slides like this. So whether you're a motion designer, a product designer, developer, or marketer, there are resources and tools to help you use motion, and we have some of those on our website. And now Mao and I will walk you through some of those tools. So it's time for demos. We'll show you how you can use Lottie Animations. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we'll just show you how you can use Lottie Animations, starting first if you're an animator and you have an original animation you need to convert to a Lottie. Mao will do that. And then I'll show you how you can use that Lottie to build your interactive prototypes on Figma. So Mao, on to you.
Thank you, Jia Yu. Sorry, I was too excited. I wish I could do animations as well as the ones that you have shown there. It's quite beautiful. Yeah, so let me share my screen. You know, if you can see how did see my screen.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So today I'll be demoing on sort of how you can install our LottieFiles After Effects plugin into After Effects. So first thing you can do is go to our LottieFiles website and go to LottieFiles/AE. So here you will be able to simply download our plugin from our Adobe Creative Cloud. or go and download the ZXP plugin from here and use it install it using extension manager for artifacts, right? So I have actually installed my plugin. Let me see if I can hide this bar here. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I have a pre-loader animation of sorts already open in After Effects. So what I'm going to do right now is go to Window, Extensions, and then go to LottieFiles plugin here, right? So once you open the plugin, it's going to load up inside your After Effects. So yeah, to go through an overview of our plugin, right now what you see are the compositions inside our After Effects. So as you see here, you see a bunch of compositions and subbox 3, 2, 1, and main loader, right? Similar to what you have here as well. So this is like the composition step. And then if you go over to the second tab here, this basically shows you all of your workspaces inside the LottieFiles platform. So here is my workspace here, my personal workspace, and here is the Lottie Education workspace, which we'll be using to demo for this workshop. And here's my team's workspace. Yeah. And the third tab here is actually sort of showing you all of the popular, recent, featured Lottie animations in our website, with which you can simply open them and then view it in the browser or simply save it as a JSON file as well. Right? So as of now, I'm going to go to my compositions tab, and then I'm going to try and export this composition as a Lottie JSON. Right? So to do that, I'm going to go here and straight away click this arrow button here, and there you go. So right now, what you see is the animation as a Lottie, the same animation that you're seeing in your composition is right now as a Lottie here. So there are a few things that we have added into this view as well. So the first thing here is the download option. So if you go here, you'll be able to see, you'll be able to download it as Lottie JSON or .40 file. And then on this button here, of course, it's going to upload into your workspace, right? So coming down here, it's actually sort of like a feature.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but we have some comments that the sound is a little bit choppy. So I'm not sure if it's like the mic or maybe you need to speak a little louder, but yeah.
Hold on a minute. Let me just simply see if I can fix that. How about now? Is it better?
Okay, yeah, it's better. Thank you.
Okay. Cool. Sorry for that, guys. To continue, here you have the feature support checker, right? So basically what this feature support checker lets you do is to see if your Lottie right here is able to be viewed on our Lottie player, right? So right now it says no issues found, which means my Lottie is good to go. So for example, if you want to see if you still like what players are supported, you can simply go and open this drop-down menu here, and then go to go over these effects that you have used inside the After Effects. And here you see the Lottie web player, Lottie Android player, and Lottie iOS player. And if you want to see like more players, you can simply go and select them here as well, right? So yeah, like I said, my Lottie is pretty good, no issues found. So I guess I can go and upload this into my workspace. So to do that, I'm going to go and press the upload button here, which actually shows you all of your workspaces. And for this demo, I'm going to go and select my Figma demo project here and upload it to that folder. Cool. Yeah, once you upload the animation, you'll be able to you'll see something like this, which says like, which you have the ability to set a status for it. So right now it says no status, but I'm going to go and select, let's say this animation needs review. So I'm going to select needs review. And here you have the option to update this Lottie, right? So if you press here and then select a composition from your compositions tab, you'll be able to simply upload a new version on top of this animation. So yeah, and this is a beta feature which I'm testing. This gives you the ability to download this Lottie in JSON formats and .40 formats as well. Yeah, so as of now, I'm going to go and open this in my browser. It's opening up. There you go. Cool. So in this window, what you're seeing is the workspace animation window where you have a bunch of features like commenting, color palette, segments and mockup, and some other options to view it as transparency, grid on and off. So a bunch of things like that, right? So I'm just going to go over the cool features for now. So if you go to this color palette feature, you will be able to add a new color palette onto your animation. So if you go and simply press here, you will be able to select the colors you want and then add your own brand colors here as well. Or you can go through these beautiful preset colors and apply one of those colors here as well, right? So right now, what it's doing is randomly selecting a shape and then applying the color. But what if you want to add a specific color to a specific part of this animation, right? You'll have to go back to your After Effects and then edit there, right? No, we can go to our body editor here and open it in LottieFiles editor. Yeah, so in the editor here, what you're seeing is sort of like a very simplified, basic editing app, right? So on the left panel, you see all the layers and all the sub layers of your animation right inside the editor, where you can select them. You can either hide them or delete them. And on the right side here, you see all the colors that your animation has, right? So you can individually select the layer and then change the colors, or you can like simply go and unselect all the layers and then set the colors here as well. So as of this demo, I'm gonna make this sort of like black and white instead of gray color theme. So here I'm gonna go and select this one and set it to black, and maybe this one as black as well, right? So yeah, it's sort of like change the colors of the whole thing. Maybe just to make it more precise, I'm gonna make sure that this is exactly white color. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think this one looks quite good for me right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this animation. So once you press save, you're gonna get two options, which says either to save this as a new animation or save changes to the current animation, right? So if you go and press this button here, what it's gonna do is save the animation onto this, giving you a new version for it, right? So you can simply go to the version history here and then see how many animations that you have saved on top of this, or how many edits that you have added, right? So here's the very first one I made and the very last one here. Yeah, so cool. The next thing I'm gonna do is maybe go to this hand of an embed. So basically, what this does is it gives you options to hand this over to developers. So if you go here and enable the asset link, you're gonna get a bunch of options here to copy the asset link which the developer can add it to their websites or apps, and then the Lottie would simply show up there. And you have the embed links here, or embed links, and you can actually go here and then select which version should this link be showing, right? So I'm going to select the current version, and then you can also set which format it should be in. So here right now it says Lottie.json, and I could simply go and say optimization.lottie, which is 1.5 KB compared to the Lottie.json, it's 8 KB. So it's quite, to use the .lottie is quite good. So yeah, if I select optimize.lottie and share this link over the website or the app is going to use the .lottie here. And if you want to learn more about integrations, you can also go to this button, and then it will take you to our integrations page. You can learn more about it. So yeah, for this demo, I'm not gonna copy the embed link, but more on Figma side. I'll be passing this animation to Jia Yu for her to use it in Figma. So since she's on the same workspace as me, she'll be able to view this a lot. Sorry?
Oh, I think someone just accidentally unmuted.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to pass this on to Jia Yu, and she'll be demonstrating how she'll be using this exact Lottie inside Figma. Okay, back to you, Jia Yu.
Thank you. Okay, so I'll share my screen now. One sec. Okay, cool. So here I have Figma, a tool that probably the product designers here are all very familiar with. And I made a prototype of a fake art sharing website called Qubit. So what you're looking at now is the preloader animation that Mal made while the website loads. So let me click on it on this prototype to load the website. Oh. So it looks like the page content is still loading because we're seeing a skeleton UI. So we'll just wait a little bit, and there it is. And I really like this first image, so I'm gonna give it a like. And look how cute that little animation was. So what you saw was 3 animations: a preloader animation, a skeleton loading UI, or also called a lazy loader, and a like micro interaction. So this is a prototype that we'll be working with today. And making a prototype like this is really useful when you're trying to visually communicate something with the designers you're working with or the developers. So first, what you'll need is the LottieFiles for Figma plugin. So for that, you just go to Figma community and type in LottieFiles and go to plugins. And this is the plugin that you would use. I already have it installed, so I'm just going to go to my Figma canvas and open up the plugin by right-clicking and going to plugins and LottieFiles. Just wait a second. Okay, so here you can see 4 tabs, and the first one is Discover. So this contains all the free animations that we have that are submitted by our community, and it's completely free to use. And you can find these here and also on our website. The Workspaces tab has your workspaces and your private files. And on SVG to Lottie, you can use this feature to turn a static vector on your Figma file to an animation with some presets. So let me show you how that works. I'll select this vector, click on Animate, Oh, let me just click it again. There. So these are the animation presets that you can apply to your Lottie animation. So let's say I'll go with zoom in. I just save that to my workspace. And there you go. Now it's ready to use. The fourth tab is import. So this is if you have a .lottie file or a JSON file, and you can just import it directly into the Figma plugin. So that's what the plugin is like. And now let's start with the basics, which is adding a Lottie animation to your Figma design. Okay. So here we have a landing page. Oh, forgot to change this. Okay, here we have an animation. We have a landing page, not an animation, called Hungry Monsters. So it's supposed to be like a game, and it's already looking really good, but something that would really help to make it more interesting and more fun, and also to display what the game is like, is to use animation. So let's pull the plugin back up. So I'm going to go to my workspace and look for an animation that our motion designers have created for the visuals on this page. So these are all the really cool animations that they've made. And let's say I'll replace this one. So right now this is static, it's just a flat visual. So I'm going to move it out. And I'm going to select this animation. And then I'll make sure that the background color matches the design, and it's just white, so that's easy. And then I'll click insert as a GIF. And there are different sizes that you can choose here, so I'm going to go with medium. And you might be wondering, why does it have to be a GIF if Lottie is supposed to be more high quality and smaller and, you know, vector based and all that? And that's because at this time, Figma doesn't support Lottie natively. So in order to use the animations that you have in your workspaces or that are free to use on the LottieFiles platform, you would have to insert that as a GIF for the purpose of the mockup. But when you're actually implementing it, if you're using like Framer or Webflow or something, somewhere that supports Lottie natively, you can use a Lottie. So here, the animation's kind of cut off on the side. So I just go to my settings here and make sure it's set to fit. So this way the animation fits within that frame. And it looks like this is actually outside the frame right now. So I'm gonna drag it in here. And let's see what that looks like. There. So that's how you add a Lottie animation. And you would just repeat the steps for anywhere that I'd want to have animation here. And then you'd end up with something that looks like this. So look how much more fun and playful this is just by replacing the static visuals with animation. And you can actually check out this page yourself by going to this link. I'll just paste it in the chat. Oh, yeah, Yamin's already pasted it in the chat. But yeah, super fun. Our animators did a really cool job. Okay, so going back to Figma. Now that you know how to add Lotties, let's move to the prototype that I showed you earlier. So again, there are 3 screens: the preloader, the skeleton loading screen, and the page with the content loaded. So with a preloader, like, first of all, what's a preloader for? Well, when a website needs time to load content, we want to convey that to the user instead of leaving it blank and leaving the user to wonder what's happening. So this is really simple. You already know how to add a Lottie animation. So you could just, we can move on to the next screen. Okay, so next we want to show the skeleton loading UI. And this gives the user a preview of the page content before it actually loads. And it usually appears when you first enter a site or when you refresh a page and it's loading some new content. So to show you how to make this, let me just first move this screen down. And then I'm going to duplicate this last screen. And then I'm going to drag that to the middle. Okay, so what we want to do now is replace all of this content here with an animation for a skeleton loader. And you can find some in Discover, but I'm going to use one that I already have. So going to my workspace and looking for that skeleton loader, which is right here. Insert that as a GIF. Okay, there you go. So let me just move this down and out of the way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go right click, copy, paste, and copy properties. And then I'm going to go to the layer that I want to replace with the loader. So in this case, it's this visual. I'm just going to right click and paste properties. That got rid of the border radius. So let me just fix that. And then you would do that for anywhere that you want to have the lazy loader. So for this little avatar, I'm going to do the same thing. And I also want to replace this text. So let's just hide this layer. And I'm going to add a new frame and make that fill container. Let's do like 20 pixel height. And then I'm going to right click on that frame that I just added and do the same thing. And then I'm going to add a border radius to round it out. Yeah, so you just repeat the same thing with the rest of the content in this page, and then you would end up with this skeleton loading UI. That would look like this. Cool. So next, what we need to make, now that we have all the page content loaded, is our like micro interaction. So for that, you would need 3 states: the default unlike state, the animation, and the liked state. So starting with the default state, what I need here is just a static version of the fill the heart. So I'm going to look for the animation I want to use, which is this one. It's exploding heart. And what I'm going to do is pause, and I'm going to scrub to a screen where it's just this heart. And then instead of inserting as a GIF, I'm going to insert it as an SVG. So this would insert it as a static visual, a static SVG. And I'm just going to resize that and center it. And because it's an SVG and it's like a vector, I can change the color and also the stroke. So I'm going to make the stroke a little thinner. And I'm going to change that to gray. Cool. Now for the next state, the animation itself, I'm just going to duplicate this frame and get rid of the content in there. And then I'm going to make sure the background color, now what I want is the animation. So I want to make sure the background color matches my design. And what I was using in the design was F8, F8, F8. This is the background color of that art sharing website. So I'll click insert as GIF. We can go with small this time. Just gonna move that out of the way. Okay, And then I'm going to resize it again. And then what you want to also do is, because the animation is actually bigger than the frame, because the heart sort of explodes and expands, I want to select the frame and make sure that clip content is unchecked so that you get to see the entire animation. Okay, now on to the last state. Just going to duplicate this again. And for this, I need a static version of the liked heart. So scrub to the end and insert as an SVG. Okay, so let me just get rid of the backgrounds on these two. Yeah. Okay, so what we need to do now is just prototype this button. I'll select this and go to prototype. And then I'm going to drag this to the second frame. And actually, let me just rename my frames. So I'll call this default. I'll call this animation. And the last one is liked. So I've dragged the default state to animation. And I want to make sure that on click, it navigates to this. And let's go with dissolve. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Okay, cool. So you'll see here, it's a little cut off because the frame that they're showing is smaller than animation. But once we move this onto the frame for a mockup, it'll be fine since we unchecked clip contents. And also another thing here is that the animation is looping, but we only want to play it once and then we want to show the filled heart. And at this point in time, we don't have the ability to unloop an animation on Figma, but there's a little hack for this. So let me connect this animation to the last one. So I'm going to select this instead of on click, I'm going to do after delay. It'll move to the liked state. And let's see what that's like. Okay, that was a little too long. It seems like it was repeating. So I'm just going to go here again and change it to like 400 milliseconds. Okay, yeah, perfect. So the last thing is just to link the last animation back to the first one. So on click, if I click on the like state, it'll go back to the default state. There. So what we need to do now is I'm going to change all of these into components and then select all of them and combine them as variants. And I'm going to call it like demo. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my design and replace all of these with the new component that we just made. Oh, yeah, that one's already set. Yep. Okay, so then the last thing to do is to prototype the screen. So linking the preloader, I'll do on click, it navigates to the second screen, and I'm going to choose Smart Animate. And the second screen, same thing, link it to the third, and this time I'm going to do after delay. So let's do like 1,000 milliseconds, which is like 1 second. And then, yeah, and then we're good. So let's see what that looks like. Demo, yeah. Okay, so we have our preloader, click it, our lazy loader, and finally our like micro interaction. So there you have it. Those are just a few ways that you can use motion in your Figma designs to enhance your user experience. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen and bring back our pitch deck. Our pitch deck, which I cannot find. There's just so many screens open right now. Give me a second, guys. Okay, found it. Let me just share it again. All right. Can you guys see?
Yeah.
Okay, I think it went back to the beginning. So let me just, there. Okay, cool. So now it's time for the design challenge. So Design Buddies and LottieFiles are partnering up for a design challenge. And the challenge is to design a landing page using at least 3 Lottie animations. And the subject matter is completely up to you. So you can use your creativity and your freedom to decide. It could be an idea for a business, a personal portfolio page, whether it's your actual portfolio or not, or a redesign of an existing page. And submissions are open today for the next 2 weeks, and the winner will be announced on April 7th. So we'll have an expert judging panel to review all of the landing page submissions, and the winner, oh, let me just go through our judging panel. Yeah, so the first one you'll all recognize. It's Grace, the founder of Design Buddies and product designer at Electronic Arts. Our second judge will be Natu, who is the CTO and co-founder of LottieFiles. And our third judge is Fons Lance, who is a designer and the founder of a design community called 10x Designers. So you'll really be getting some expert eyes to look at and review your designs. So the winner would get a 1-year subscription to LottieFiles and access to all of our features and premium features, and a 1-year subscription to Icon Scout, which is part of LottieFiles, which gives you access to millions of design assets like icons, 3D illustrations, and even more Lottie animations. And you'll also get a LottieFiles swag pack with some cool goodies. So you can work solo or part of a team. And the requirements are that you use 3 Lottie animations, at least 3. And your design must be unique and your own. Make sure to share the source file or the link with us in the type form where you'll submit your submission. And then also make sure to join both the LottieFiles Discord and the Design Buddies Discord. And you can use any program that you're comfortable with using for design. So you can use Figma and prototype it and then send us a prototype link. You can use Protopie, you could use Framer and Webflow, which are these like no-code tools, or you can even code it yourself if you want to do that. And you can visit the challenge page here for more details and to submit your design. So to help get you guys inspired and in the mood to design, here are some places that I like to go for inspiration. So go ahead and take a screenshot. The first 2 are on the LottieFiles website. So our Built with Lottie page and our showcases have tons of really cool examples of how other companies and other like individuals are using Lottie animations in their websites and their apps. So there are some really, really nice examples for inspiration on there. The FWA and Awards and Landbook are web design inspiration websites, and they have a lot of really nice content as well. And the last one is the Framer Gallery. So Framer is a no-code tool. It's what we use to make the Hungry Monsters page that we showed you guys earlier. And their gallery has a bunch of examples of how people have used Framer to make some really cool pages. So good luck with the challenge. We can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Thank you. That's all. So now we're ready if you have any questions.
Awesome, thank you. That was great. I'm excited to use more Lottie and Figma files. Yeah, let us know if you have any questions in the chat. And we look forward to seeing what y'all make on the design challenge. We Lottie you. I love that. I Lottie y'all as well. Yeah, make
We
sure to follow
Lottie you
LottieFiles.
too.
Yeah, we Lottie all of y'all. I'm not even from Texas, but I say y'all a lot.
All y'all.
All y'all. Howdy y'all.
I love that.
Thank you. Make sure to connect with LottieFiles. Make sure to connect with Design Buddies as well. Oh, also, if y'all like post your creations on social media, definitely tag us, both LottieFiles and Design Buddies. We'd love to see it. Oh,
So,
question.
we have a question here.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, the one from Nicole. So what if we miss the submission cutoff? Can we still get feedback? I think try to submit it by the cutoff. Hopefully 2 weeks is enough because we'll need some time for the judges to take a look at all of the submissions and then decide on a winner. So we want to be mindful of their time and give them enough time to properly review anything too.
And if you do make something outside of this challenge, we also have design feedback channels in our community, but definitely try to make this challenge. You can also submit it like a work in progress. You can still get feedback on it too, if you don't finish it in 2 weeks. Any other questions?
Yeah. If you have any more questions, just feel free to drop it in the chat.
Going once, going twice. Can we connect with y'all on LinkedIn?
Oh yeah, let me drop my socials. Now feel free to drop your social links as well. Okay. Connie said last time I used JSON and now I see dot. I think you mean dot Lottie. So yeah, so Lottie JSON and dot Lottie, they're both Lottie, but dot Lottie is kind of just like it's even smaller than a Lottie JSON file. It is a little bit new, so it might not be as widely supported as Lottie JSON, but there are some places that do support it. For example, Framer supports dot Lottie. There's a dot Lottie component, so it just depends on the platform. But yeah, both of those are Lottie. Just dot Lottie is even smaller. What else? Are we allowed to reach out to the judges for feedback on LinkedIn?
Not all the judges are here, but to
Yeah.
guarantee you get feedback, just submit on the type form.
Okay. Okay, Candace has a question. I have a question here regarding the Figma plugin and the color customize feature. It doesn't seem to be working. After choosing a color and clicking save animation, the plugin goes blank. Oh no. Okay. So this might be, there might be like a bug right now or like a technical problem. If you try like restarting the plugin or restarting Figma, see if that helps. If it doesn't, I'll let our plugins team know, and maybe there was just like a bug that came up suddenly. What is the best way a UX UI designer should start learning Lottie to create and use motion design assets? This is from William. So you can go to our LottieFiles website and maybe, okay, if you're a UX UI designer and you're not a motion designer, you can go to our website and like check out the resources available there for designers. You probably wouldn't be using the After Effects or like the animation plugins then. What you would use is like the Figma plugin if you use Figma, or if you use some other no-code tools to build your projects, you can check on our integrations page. You can check which are supported. So let me just, I think someone sent it in the link in the chat earlier, but I'm just going to send it again as a reply here. Yeah, so you can go to the integrations page and you can see all the plugins that we have for different design tools, for coding tools. And you can also see some other tools that do support Lottie natively. So hopefully it could like fit easily into your existing workflow. And what else? An easy way, if you're not a motion designer, to create a Lottie animation is you can use the SVG to Lottie tool, which is also on the integrations page. And you can use that to turn like a vector, apply some preset animations to it and turn that into an animation. Or you can also go on the website and just look for the free animations to use and just use those in your project, because those are all completely free to use. They're free, like there's no copyright. They're free to use in personal and commercial projects. How do we hand off the animation or motion assets to developers? So you can do this in a couple of ways. So Mao, if there's anything that I miss out, feel free to jump in. But the first one is you can download the Lottie JSON file or the .lottie file and like send it to them directly. Or if you're on the LottieFiles platform and you're in the same workspace, you could send them the link to that animation on your workspace, and they would have the asset links on the side. On the slide, there's like a button for handoff, and you would click on that. And then there are a few options. So there's there's like some asset links that Mao showed earlier. And depending on what the dev is using, they might be able to just use that asset link, like embed it in whatever program they're using, and that would put the Lottie in there.
Yep.
Yeah, but there are a few options.
Yeah, and I'm also dropping a link here in the chat if you want to learn more on some features for our platform. And then, we have around 5 or 6 videos just to get you started on WordPress platform.
Yeah, on the LottieFiles website, we have an education section. So there's a ton of videos on there. Some of them are made by LottieFiles and others are made by other people, but they're about Lottie. Jasmine said, I'm excited for this design challenge. And we are too. We can't wait to see what you guys make. Cool. Did I miss out on any questions? If any last minute questions, just put them in the chat.
Let us know any questions. If y'all want, we can do a group photo. I know we used to do this in Design Buddies.
Let's do that.
Yeah, if y'all want, keep thinking of your questions and turn on your camera. If you want to fix your hair, grab an animal, grab your friends and family, give you a few moments to turn your camera if you want to take a group photo. All right, I'll count down. I'm gonna grab some bunnies as well. Also here. Let's do a group photo. If we could turn off screen share so I can see everyone. Awesome. If y'all don't want to be in a group photo, we can like react and we can see your favorite emoji. But I'll count down 10 seconds to give any of our buddies some more time to do a group photo. Oh, I love that bear, Katrina. We have animals too.
Oh, that is so cute.
Yeah. Oh my God, there's another cat. I have a cat too. Can we be buddies? All right. I'll count down 10 seconds for anyone to turn on their camera again. We'll share this on our Discord server afterwards. So, all right, 5 or 10, 9, 8. Oh my God, that strawberry is awesome as well. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Say Lottie. I Lottie y'all. Awesome. Cool. That was fun. But yeah, definitely stay in touch for our design challenge, and we look forward to what y'all submit. And another question in the chat is, oh yes, Lottie is hiring. So you can join them as well.
Yeah, check out our open positions. See if there's anything that suits you. Cool. Yeah, thank you so much for attending, everyone. This was fun, and I hope you guys learned something. Join the challenge.
Join the challenge.
And thank you so much, Grace, for having us.
Yeah, thanks for giving this workshop. And for any of our buddies, feel free to like plug your LinkedIns as well. We want our buddies to be friends and connect with each other. You can even like save the chat, add everyone here, and then send a personalized invite saying that y'all met from Design Buddies and support each other on your wholesome design journeys.